And so that's what I want to say about this story right here, and just finish up with that note on the bottom that one of the things that I learned early in this process was that the formula for transformation is on the left hand side you see purpose times action times artifacts. That's all the forces of good that multiply together to create the power to improve, and it gets anchored in an artifact that gives you a tool that you can leverage. You can put all that meaning and goodness into an artifact that you can rely on. So it's important to take notes, make sketches, remember stories, because those become usable leverage in the future. It's a tool that makes work possible. If any one of those three things is zero, then you don't have any energy or power to do work. Like if you don't have a purpose for what it is you're trying to improve, then you're just unvectored energy. And all of that energy will just dissipate because of inertia. And if you don't take action on your purpose and insights and artifacts, if you don't take action, then you're in stasis and you'll just sit there. Unused capacity. And you don't get that back that time. And then if you don't put it into an artifact, you always have to remember what it was and start all over and regain that ground that you that you once had. So, but when you put those three things together, you take action with a purpose through an artifact, then you have real power to make changes. The forces on the right-hand side there, inertia plus culture plus status quo, those are the forces that keep us where we are. Inertia is that bodies at rest tend to stay at rest. That's why you got to act. But the flywheel effect also says bodies in motion stay in motion. So you want to make sure that your motion is towards purposeful outcomes. Culture is what we do when we don't know what else to do and just drives us to standard work. And I don't want to take the side of the argument that says culture is smart. I'm going to say culture is dumb, so we got to do things to overcome the cultural drag of messages out there that you can't do it and you're not worthy and only they can do it and we got to accept what we're given. So all of those cultural message reinforced outside of the circle are there to be overcome. And then the status quo makes us everybody happy. Everybody is happy with the status quo unless you're taking purposeful action through an artifact. The status quo makes so many people happy, that's why it doesn't change. And you say, well, I'm not happy with the status quo. I say, oh, yeah, you are. It makes you just happy enough so that you don't give up what little you have in hopes of something better. That's the secret of the status quo. It has learned how to fine-tune just to keep you quiet and pacified and not change. So taken together, those things are fat, dumb, and happy. Inertia is fat. It keeps you locked in. But once you get that thing rolling downhill, it's unstoppable. So we got to find ways not to defeat those directly, inertia, culture, and status quo, but learn how to co-opt them to our side of the equation. How can we make that stuff powerful forces in our favor so I can get all of that working together? Well, I'm going to use the flywheel effect and generate momentum and then keep the momentum going so I can leverage the power in that spinning wheel. Inertia, it wants to keep going, so build the habits of mind and the processes and the routine so that you stay in motion, keep going. That's what the weekly check-ins are for, is to document that like a pulse on the drummer's beat. And then you use that knowledge that we're going to talk about it to help you find ways during the week to do things routinely towards your objective. Like you'll find that there's a proper time in the week for you to read the lessons, do the writings, do the reflection, practice it over, get ready to tell your story, and then tell your story. There's almost a little production line of goodness that you'll find a way to do those things when it's time so that you can do the work and be satisfied that you're doing it. Culture, all we've got to do is, through our agreements, to decide how we're going to be in our circle and in our group and in the world, and make those changes and just do that. And then the things that you do replace the things you used to do, and the culture is strengthened and supportive. And then the status quo, we're going to use the ratchet effect and the power of continuous improvement to keep moving up that hill and locking in the goodness. And maybe the artifact is nothing but a wedge that you put in, that you make an effort, you move the thing a little, and the artifact is the wedge that you put in to keep it from backsliding. Or it's the protection you put in as a mountain climber to keep from falling and keep going up that hill. So we're going to turn those fat, dumb, and happy things into powerful forces for transformation. I want to be a jolly old soul on the journey towards my vision and my purpose. And that's how we're going to do that. We're not going to fight those things, but we're going to transform them, inertia, culture, and status quo. We're going to transform those through the power of our purpose, action, and artifact. And the rest of it is just details. If you hold that formula in mind, then you'll find the way to leverage natural forces and get on with the work. So I'm invigorated just thinking about it. You know, up until the moment, I say, God, am I really going to do this again? Knowing how much work it is to take those 30 lessons in 30 weeks, man, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work if you do it, and work is good. So, and you get better through doing the work. So yeah, I'm excited about doing this, and I just want to express my gratitude for you guys investing your time and your trust and your efforts into making this work, because it makes me better through our mutual actions. So I'm just want to express my gratitude, and that's my true story for the week. And I just can't wait to get going, and I can't wait to hear what you guys are up to. So here we go. Aho.